Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And I know some of you guys are looking at this like, what the hell is going on? We're still setting up our new studio, so just bear with us. This is not the final product, but we're working on it, so just bear with us here. So, as y'all know, Russell Westbrook has been a lightning rod for criticism all season long. And one of the most vocal critics of Russell Westbrook this entire season has been Shannon Sharpe. He wasn't a fan initially when the idea came out that Russell Westbrook could possibly be traded to the Los Angeles Lakers during the offseason. He was one of the people out there that wasn't interested in the Lakers acquiring Russell Westbrook. From the very start, he wasn't a fan of that. He wasn't a fan of that idea, and he hasn't been a fan of Russell Westbrook since he joined the Lakers. And joined the Lakers. And Shannon Sharpe has been right about Russell Westbrook all season long, if we're going to be honest. Russell Westbrook simply hasn't been good enough for the Lakers this season, man. He simply hasn't. You come in as a top 75 player of all time. Listen, a top 75 player. You would average, triple doubles 4 out of the last 5 seasons. You come to the Lakers and you're a total non-factor Russell Westbrook has been a non-factor. So given the fact that Shannon Sharpe has been critical of this guy all this time, the guy is justified in the positions that he has been taking. But recently, Russell Westbrook came out and basically went on the offensive to basically say that, listen, people have been criticizing me and that's fine. But I don't like the fact that people are making fun of my last name. As y'all know, his wife also came out. She's the one I think that started all of this. They came out on Twitter. Went at Skip Bayless for saying, listen, you need to grow up, stop making fun of my husband, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's where this thing really took legs. And then Shannon Sharpe, because I think he had some hip surgery, then he came back on the show and he started to give his thoughts and opinions on Russell Westbrook's position about being called Russell Westbrook. And Shannon Sharpe, in typical Shannon Sharpe fashion, he didn't hold back and he let his thoughts be known loud and clear. So for those of you guys who missed some of the things that Shannon Sharpe had to say yesterday on Undisputed about Russell Westbrook, we want to play that for you right now. We're going to come back and give you guys our thoughts. So take a listen to that there.
All Russ has to do is play better. Every street clothes, they call AD always Dean, Pandemic P. Everybody was saying Pandemic P. Guess what Paul George did? He didn't complain. He said it almost broke him. He said being there, being away from his family, missing his wife, missing his daughters. He said he going through mental thing. Everybody even mocked him for saying he was going through something mental. Paul George put his head down and almost, without Kawhi, got his team to the NBA Finals.
He did.
Paul George changed the narrative.
He did.
Called Lemon Pepper Lou. Everybody was mocking Lemon Pepper Lou.
You started it.
Lou monetized it. Nick got shirts, and he's selling it. All Russ has to do is play better. Where is Russ' culpability in this? Where is Russ going to own responsibility and says, I've played bad this year. My play hasn't been up to par. Instead of trying to make it about, they shaming my name and trying to bring the kids in it. Because everybody like, man, come on, Shannon, lay off Russ. Ain't nobody talking about Russ' kids. I don't talk about Russ' kids. I don't talk about his mom. I don't talk about his brother. I don't talk about his family.
You do not.
I'm talking about his horrible play that has been consistently on display this season, playing for a team. Although Russ didn't have expectations, when have you known the Lakers not to have expectations?
They're the most famous team in pro basketball.
I wish when he said I didn't have any expectations, I wish he had told AD and LeBron and Rob Pelinka that before they signed him. Tell them, now I don't have any expectations. I got none. So I don't know what you guys are expecting you're going to get from me or what you expect this season to be, but I have no expectations. I wish he had said that first, not after they sign and get 45 games into the season.
Now, I can't argue with a single thing that Shannon Sharpe said, and here's why. Shannon Sharpe brought up a point that I hadn't thought about for the entire season. He brought up Paul George. We forgot about Paul George. But Paul George, just 2 years ago, was in the Orlando bubble. And he put forth one of the worst stretches of basketball in his entire NBA career, and he totally disappeared in the second round of the play. No, I mean, he disappeared since the first round, but especially in the second round of the playoffs, when the Clippers blew that lead against the Denver Nuggets. Paul George was terrible. And after his performance in the bubble, they were calling Paul George Pandemic P. Not only was Paul George made fun of by sports fans, by NBA fans, he was also made fun of by NBA players all of last season. I remember this because I chronicled the Clippers. We chronicled the Clippers story season very closely last season. And Paul George got into the playoffs. He got over his demons, and he delivered for the Clippers and damn near helped that team get to an NBA Finals without Kawhi Leonard. Since then, no one has been calling Paul George Pandemic P. And Shannon Sharpe made a very good point when he said that, because essentially what he's saying is, Russell Westbrook, you're not the first person to go through this. Others have been where you are. Stop complaining. And he makes a very, very, very he makes a valid point. Basically, what he's saying is, play better. Play better, and people will stop making fun of you. It is literally that simple. And also, let me say this: Russell Westbrook is not an innocent bystander in any of this by any means whatsoever. Russell Westbrook has brought a lot of this on himself for, number one, because of his terrible play and because of his dismissive attitude with the media and fans. Russell Westbrook has been an a-hole to the media. This is just the pure reality. And if you have no self-awareness, you would not know that you're actually coming off as a person that's giving people a reason to hate on you when you don't do well. Russell Westbrook doesn't come off. He seems as somebody that doesn't want to be agreeable. A lot of the times you see him in the media press, he's on his phone, he's cantankerous, he's ready to snap back at people. And it's one of the reasons why when you play poorly, people are not going to say nice things about you, because you haven't been nice about it. What did he say the other day when you saw the Laker players getting into it with some of the fans in the arena? He went into the post-game conference and said, I'm not taking it home with me. Y'all can take it home with y'all. That ain't got nothing to do with me. They can take it home with them. I ain't taking home nothing with me. So how do you expect people to treat you? You expect these same fans to come out here and say nice things about you? Listen, I think Shannon Sharpe made some very valid points. And you know what? He's right. Because I had totally forgotten about the Paul George aspect. If Paul George had to endure all of that, then Russell Westbrook got to take this on the chin. And Shannon Sharpe made some good points. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about some of the things that Shannon Sharpe had to say? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we definitely catch you guys on the next episode.